Well, I bought these popcorn pens for a project on my other channel, Steve McDonald Crafting. If you haven't been on that channel, check it out. I'll link it in the description below. And I love the effect that they give. When they're dry and you warm them up, it gives you like this raised popcorn feel to them. And it's quite solid and feels a little rubbery. So I had to work out whether I could use them in resin or not. So this is going to be an experiment live as it happens. I've not tried this yet. So I'm going to do a couple of experiments with these. One, I'm going to put it directly on the mould. The other one, I'm going to put it on top of the resin. And then the other one, I'm going to try and embed it in the resin and see what the difference is. And I think I'm going to stick with a smiley face because I like the idea of a smiley face. The first one I'm going to do is going to be on the actual resin itself. So this is going to be its eye, like that, and a big smile here. Now these aren't, when they say they're popcorn pens, they're not really pens. It just releases the ink out or whatever it is they're making this out of. So it's like a paint in there. Now I'm going to put a bit in the middle for the eye. Probably should have done the other way round, but there we go. And then I'm going to do a circle around the outside. Not very neat, but that don't matter, do it? It's just to see if it works. And then fill this all in. And there's quite a lot of these online that you can buy. I bought the cheapest ones because I thought, well, I'm not going to spend a lot of money out on the expensive ones, and these seem to do the trick anyway, so I'm quite happy with that. And now you have to leave that to dry before you pop it. And while that's drying, I can mix up my resin. I'm going to be using the 4-hour Demould resin for this from JDiction because I want to do it quickly. And what I can do is pour my resin into these, cure that up, ready for testing out the next areas that I want to test on this. This one has started to dry already. I can see that skinning over. Now, it does take a couple of hours in a warm place. It's not something that's quick, but it's great effect, so I don't mind waiting. Now I'm going to mix up my 4-hour Demould resin. And again, this is a 1-to-1 resin. It will give you a beautiful crystal clear finish. It is a thicker resin than most resin, so it's really important to make sure that you've got it at a good room temperature before you start to mix it. But at least this way, it's going to give me the opportunity to finish off these today. Well, now they're poured, there's no bubbles coming up to the top. What I'm going to do is leave these to cure up for about 4 hours, and then I can do the next stage. Well, these are cured now. They've only taken about 4 hours. It's quite warm in here today, and this is nearly dry. So what I'm going to do is put the rest of the ones on here and let them dry up nicely, and then we can do the pop bin bit. Unfortunately, my tremor seems to be quite bad today. I don't know if my camera's picking it up, so I can't do a very straight line. But there we go. Look at that. Oh, if you didn't laugh, you'd cry, wouldn't you? But you can't let these things stop you crafting or doing stuff, because if you did, you wouldn't be happy. Well, I do hope this works out. Oh, look, now I've mixed all that in. Oh, you'll have to forgive me today. We'll finish those now, but they look like more something out of a horror film. I think that one looks a bit like a scarecrow. So what I'm going to do, leave these to dry now completely, and then we can pop them. Well, these are all dry now, and it's ready to pop them. And all I'm going to be using is a hairdryer on hot, and then keeping it really close to what it is you want to pop, and then that'll pop that up like that. I don't know if you can see how it's coming out. It looks great, I think. So that's the second one, and that hasn't popped quite as much as the first one, but it's still popped. I think it still looks all right. But the third one, it came off the silicone base, so it obviously doesn't like a silicone base as much, but it did kind of screw up as well. So I'm not sure whether this is going to work, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that with resin anyway and pop that in, and we can see what happens. So I'm now ready to put my resin on these, and I tried to re-pop them to see if I could get them to pop a little bit more and use my heat gun, and then did it too much and singed that one. So you'll have to excuse that. I'm so sorry. So I've got my resin mixed up now. So all I need to do is pour a thin layer over the top of this one, and then pour a thicker layer over this, because I want to see if this will actually come off the mould and stick into the resin. Now, I'm sure your artwork with these popcorn pens is going to be better than mine. You kids have been making artwork with these pens, and you want to keep it forever, then this might be a way of doing that. And that one we're going to leave as it is and see if that sticks on there once these two resins are cured. Now we'll give this 5-10 minutes and then I'll go over it with a long neck lighter to burst any bubbles that may have released from that popcorn pen or come up. Oh, I'm quite excited to see how these are going to look. Well, let's have a look at these. This is the one where I put the popcorn pens on the base of the actual coaster mold. And as you can see, it released bubbles quite slowly and I didn't get to them all. So some of them are on the top of here. But overall, it did cure really well and it has taken in, although you can still feel the popcorn paint there and it is a bit concave. So I wouldn't say that that was a very good result. This one where we've got it layered in between definitely has cured up much better and it gives a really nice effect. I quite like that. And this is the one where we put it over the top of the actual piece of resin and it works really well on the resin and it's not coming off. It is permanently on there. So I'm really pleased with how that's gone. So overall, I think apart from trying to do it like this, it is a success and you could put popcorn paints in there and it does give that 3D effect where the popcorn pens have gone all popcorny. I don't think I got really good ones because they didn't blow up as much as I expected. I expected it to be a lot more lumpier than that. But overall, I think it looks okay. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It is a good way of preserving your popcorn art or your kids' popcorn art, so it has worked. And I love doing these experiments anyway. I do them so you don't have to. Boo that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out the experiment I've got coming up next. I think you'll really enjoy this one. Take care. But most of all, enjoy your resin. Bye. So if you're looking to see what comes in my kit, you get this extra large mat like this. And that's the size of the one I'm working on here. It is colossal. You get several pairs of nitrile gloves. Always handy. You get pipettes as well. Love these pipettes. As you know, I use them a lot. You get 3 stirrers. You get one of these little silicone brushes, which are great. You also get, so it's never ending. On top of that, you get these, which you've seen me use lots of times. It's great for removing bubbles and doesn't damage any of your molds. You get some of these nice little small measuring cups, ideal for colours. And you get 4 of those. You also get 2 of these smaller mixing cups and 2 of these larger mixing silicone jugs, and they're good quality silicone and all the measurements are accurate, which is really important on all of them. And we're not making any money on this really. It's just a way of us being able to provide anybody that wants to get on with resin and have good quality tools with the tools that they need. I'm sorry if it keeps going out of stock, but keep an eye out. It does get put back into stock really quickly. But the reason it's going out of stock is because it's such great value for money. I can't get it all back in the box. There's so much of it. And I love this big jug. It really does make a lot of resin in there and can save you a great deal of time as well. And it's nice and open, so it's easy to mix. Now, with all silicone, remember to clean it out. Don't leave your resin in there to cure up and that, because it will dry your silicone out and it will make your silicone mold brittle. And wipe your mats over as well once you've finished with them, and you'll get a lot longer life out of your mats. Again, links in the description of this video.